Hello, I'm Mark Davis with PAR. Welcome to the February 8th Special Governor's Budget Edition of PAR Tuesday News Review. TNR is your timely source of news that is important to IDA providers in our community. February is National Black History Month, going back to a week celebration starting in 1926, when the second week of February was chosen to coincide with the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. In 1976, President Gerald Ford officially recognized Black History Month. It's a time for all Americans to celebrate the achievements of African Americans and recognizing the central role of Black Americans in our history, such as George Washington Carver, a scientist who developed over 300 products from peanuts. Today, Governor Tom Wolf proposed his fiscal year 2022-2023 budget to a joint session of the Pennsylvania General Legislature. His $43.7 billion budget proposal is $6.2 billion more than last year, an increase of 16.6%. In his eighth budget address, the governor continued to propose investments in education, an increase in minimum wage, and he recognized past bipartisan success. Noting that the Commonwealth has billions in reserves, the governor praised the bipartisan efforts to fix the structural deficits of the state and build a surplus so that investments can be made into the Commonwealth's future. For education, the governor proposed almost $2 billion in new money across all levels of education, utilizing reserve funds, the rainy day fund, and new revenue to pay for it. He hopes that the legislature will agree to make progress on the previous investments in education. The governor asked the legislature once again for a $15 an hour minimum wage, asking them to look at Pennsylvania's neighboring states, who have all seen increases in the minimum wage this year. PAR agrees with the sentiment that everyone deserves to earn a living wage. However, the direct support profession is not a minimum wage profession. DSPs must earn much more than the minimum wage in the future, as they now earn 1.8 times the current minimum wage, and that is inadequate. The governor's proposal for the waiting list of an additional $18.8 million to take 832 individuals off the intellectual disability or autism waiting list. The governor's proposal contains the already announced rate increases. The IDA system did not receive any additional investments for provider rates, DSP wages, or other system reforms. A reminder, this is the governor's proposal and it will be negotiated with the legislature. It is not a final product. PAR and our partners will continue to meet with legislators until this process is complete. This year, PAR will be advocating for the following. 1. An annual inflationary index with a catch-up modifier. 2. Level up for IDA legislation. 3. The end of prudent pay. 4. Continuation of regulatory flexibilities. And 5. Reduction in the waiting list. PAR has met with all but one member of the Pennsylvania congressional delegation or their staff about the Better Care, Better Jobs Act, which was in the Build Back Better Act. The Build Back Better Act will likely be broken up into smaller bits and may see movement in the U.S. Senate over the next several weeks. Please go to www.par.net/action-center to contact your House and Senate members to support PAR's advocacy efforts at the state and federal level. Remember to follow PAR on Facebook and Twitter to check out, like, and share our posts. Be sure to tag Governor Wolf and your state and federal legislators to help spread our message. Thanks for tuning in to PAR TNR, everyone. Stay safe out there and have a nice week.